Hello, today's lesson is about would rather and would prefer to express preferences. I just talked to my brother David. He's shopping for a car. He'd rather get a used car than a new car. He's a college student and he'd rather not spend a lot of money. David saw one car he liked, but he hasn't decided to buy it yet. He doesn't want to rush. He'd prefer to take his time and shop around. I think that's a good idea. When I'm making a big purchase, I prefer to shop around too. How about you? Would you rather buy a used car? Do you prefer to shop around? We use would rather and would prefer to express preferences. We use would rather to express preferences in general or specific situations. We use would prefer to express preferences in specific situations. We use just prefer to express general preferences. I prefer to shop around in general. In speaking, we usually contract the subject pronoun and would. Notice that would rather is followed by the base form of the verb. He'd rather get a used car. Would prefer is followed by the infinitive. I'd prefer to take the subway. To make these sentences negative, add not after rather and prefer. He'd rather not get a new car. I'd prefer not to take the subway. When comparing two actions, we use would rather or would prefer plus the word than between the two actions. We'd rather drive than take the bus. We'd prefer to take the subway than the bus. Notice that with prefer, if the infinitive for both actions is the same, we only say it once. When the actions are different, we don't repeat to in the second action. We can also use prefer and would prefer with just nouns. For example, we prefer compact cars. They would prefer a new car. To form yes-no questions with would rather and would prefer, start with would. Would you rather drive? Would you prefer to take a taxi? We can change these into choice questions by adding the choice at the end, like this. In this case, the answer must include one of the choices. I'd rather walk. I'd prefer to take a taxi. Not,